Welcome back to my channel. I'll show you a romantic fantasy from 1990. It called Edward Scissorhands. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The story takes place in a town where an old lady tells her granddaughter a bedtime story. It's about a man who had scissors instead of hands. This man was made by an old inventor who had died before he could finish him. But this story has other characters, for example Peg Boggs. She is an Avon saleswoman, but no one wants to buy anything from her. No. Neither. Nope. Finally she decides to drive to the old castle on the hill to find new clients. In the castle garden there are many beautiful hedge sculptures. Peg goes into the castle and on the attic finds a poor bedroom and a dark figure in the corner of the room. She encourages him to come closer, but when she sees the scissor blade she gets scared. She wants to leave, but the young man nicely asks her to stay. Peg feels sorry for him when she gets known that he is alone in the whole castle. This young man is called Edward. Peg decides to bring Edward home. Edward enjoys traveling by car and the neighborhood women are curious and everybody talks about Edward. Peg shows their house to Edward. In the living room he stares at the photos and immediately falls in love with Kim, Peg's daughter. Then Edward gets him clothes that he puts on successfully with a little help. While Peg is sewing Edward's clothes, she promises that her doctor friend can help him and she can cover up his scars on his face. Peg's husband Bill and their son, Kevin, arrive home and they have dinner together. It's really hard for Edward. Then Edward sleeps in Kim's bedroom until she comes back from the camping. The next day Peg tries some makeup tricks, but they don't work. While Bill is trimming the hedge in the garden and listening to the radio, Edward trims the hedge into the shape of a dinosaur. Everybody loves it except one of the neighbors, Esmeralda. The Boggs invite the curious neighborhood to a barbecue. When Edward and Peg are preparing food in the kitchen, the young man is thinking about the old inventor who creates him. At the barbecue the women ask Edward to trim their hedge too, and he can't say no. Later Edward is laying on Kim's bed and thinking about the past. He remembers when the inventor taught him from books and read funny poems to him. Suddenly Kim arrives home and goes to her bedroom. She didn't expect to find somebody there, so she is terrified when she meets Edward. Edward is scared too, so he tries to get up, but his scissors cut Kim's waterbed. Yes, she had a waterbed. They'll make the bed for Edward in the living room and give him some whiskey, but it was too strong for him. The next day Edward makes amazing sculptures from the hedges in the street. Later the Boggs family, Edward, Kim's classmate and Kim's boyfriend Jim, have dinner together and talk about Jim's rich father. Edward is so nervous that he drops a slice of meat onto Kim's dress. Next day Edward trims a dog's fur and it is so fantastic that all the women ask Edward to do the same thing with their dog too. Then Joyce asks Edward to cut her hair, so Edward cut wonderful hairstyles. Peg continues to vanish Edward's scars, but nothing helps. While a neighbor lady brings Edward to the scissors sharpener he sees Kim who mesmerizes him. That afternoon Kim can't go inside their house because she lost the keys, but Edward helps her and Jim. Later Edward and Peg are invited to a talk show when someone asks Edward if he has a girlfriend. He gets too nervous, cuts the microphone's cable and gets an electric shock. Jim is laughing at him, but Kim feels sorry for him. Then Joyce shows a place to Edward where he can open his own hair salon. She tries to get closer to him, but it scares him away. Joyce is very angry and disappointed and tells lies about Edward. While Edward is having lunch with the Boggs, Bill advises him to go to the bank for a loan. The bank refuses because he doesn't have anything, either an ID card. Meanwhile Jim is planning to rob their own house to get some money, that's why Kim asks Edward to open the locks in Jim's house. But the alarm is turned on, so Jim leaves the house and brings Kim too. They leave Edward alone locked into the room. The policemen arrest Edward and he has to stay at the police station a night. Next morning when Kim and Edward meet in the house, Edward tells her why he did all these things. Because she asks him. Suddenly Jim appears and Kim starts to argue with him. Edward is so upset, he cuts the curtain into pieces and scratches the walls. The fear and the hatred is growing against Edward, but Kim feels sorry for him and she falls in love with him. Peg tries to act that everything is okay, so she asks Edward to cut her hair again and again. While Peg and Kim decorate the house for a party, Kim notices that it snows outside. Actually Edward is making an ice sculpture, that's why it seems like the snow is falling. At once Jim arrives and Edward accidentally cuts Kim's palm. Jim starts to tossing Edward who runs away. Kim breaks up with Jim. Peg and Bill go to find Edward who cuts his clothes off and vandalize some of the neighbor's garden. Finally he sees a police car, so return to the Boggs. He finds Kim alone and they are hugging. This remembers Edward to the moment when the old inventor gave him the hands which he never had. But unfortunately the old man died before he put on Edward's hands. Now Edward really wants to hug Kim with real hands. At the same time Jim and his friend Danny drinks too much beers and they get drunk. Danny starts to drive and they almost hit Kevin, Kim's brother. Edward saves Kevin, but in the chaos his scissors scratches Kevin's face. The neighbors believe that Edward attacks Kevin, so Kim tells him to run. Edward runs towards the castle, but a policeman and the neighbors follow him. Kim also follows him and finds him on the castle attic. Edward is worried about Kevin, but Kim calms him. Kim appears and starts to punching and kicking Edward. Kim is screaming and picks up a piece of wood and hits Jim's back. She threatens Jim, but the drunk man punching her too. Edward wants to help, but Jim tries to harm him. Edward turns around and stabs him, then Jim falls out of the window. Edward and Kim stare to each other. Edward says goodbye and Kim kisses him. Then she runs down and tells the neighbors that Edward died. The old lady finishes the story and tells her granddaughter that she is that young girl Kim. She has never met Edward again, but she knows that he is alive because the snow never falls. Before he lives with them, but now it snows. This is the sad ending. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for other similar content.